everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto. My name is Sam and welcome to another episode. Now first of all, I'm sorry that it takes so long for new updates, but as I told you, I have some trouble in my private life, it's really difficult at the moment. And today I found a little bit time to make a new update because I think it's a very important update. It's very, very important. But before I get into it, I want to thank you all for all the nice words in Discord, and it means so much to me, and it's also a reason why I continue bringing updates whenever it is possible. Like I said, my private life is a little bit, or not a little bit, it's very complicated at the moment. I hope everything will be fine in the next 2 months, but only God knows, and I hope he's with us now. Alright guys, so this is the first wave in 2015, and I've been showing you that a million times, and sorry for all the lines right here, but I can't take them away. They're part of my analysis, and but I think you will see what I'm talking about. And now in my last video, I've been talking about this line right here, all right? Because I said in 2015, when we crossed that line, the parabolic movement started. As you can see, it really started, and we had that second wave, all right? So, and as you can see, it really, really played a major role back in 2015. Right, it played a really, really major role, and this line starts during the fourth wave of that previous bull market. As you can see, this is a very, very important line, and of course, when it comes to the first wave of the next bull market, it also plays a really big role. And so when we cross it, we have the second wave. And something else that is of course important, and that I've been talking about so much, is this resistance up here. All right, this big resistance that pushed Bitcoin down at the end of 2015, since April 2016, so a very long time, like what we're seeing currently for the first wave. And let me do that in another color so that you can see it better. I hope this is better. And as you can see, so when we crossed this big resistance, we tested this orange line right here. We tested this one. The first time we failed, and we came back down to this resistance to see if it is support. And at some point we went back up to this orange line, and then we crossed it, and then we had this parabolic movement. And I've been using all of this right here to understand what is going really on right now. And if you watched my videos from the beginning, you know that a very important part of my theory is that Bitcoin, after reaching the highest point of a wave, starts to fall inside of a falling channel. And after testing the channel line 3 times, so at that time it's a nearly vertical channel line. All right, let's do it in, I don't know, white maybe. So 1, 2, 3 tests, and then Bitcoin starts moving away or climbing higher. And if we make it like this, I think you can see this channel. All right, I think you can see this falling channel. We have 3 tests, 1, 2, 3, and then moving away, right? So something like this. Right? I think you know what I'm talking about. And so this is a very important part of the theory. And of course, like I said, this huge resistance up there. All right, so if we go to to our first wave of the new bull market that started last year. So what you can see, and that's what I've been talking about in my previous video, there are two possible lines. The first one is this one, and if this one is the important one, we're already above it, or it is this one. All right, and after all that I've seen, I think it is this one and not this one, so I'm taking this one away. Although it's important, so no, come on, let's let it there. And so as you can see, this played a very big role during the fourth wave and the bear market that we've seen, and it still plays a very big role. All right, very big role. And now what happened in the last hours is that we've seen this massive drop, and in 2015 it has been very similar, very similar. All right, having a big red candle after trying to get above this one right here, and the current price would be $10,600 approximately if we want to get above it. And of course we still have this green resistance of this rising channel or rising wedge, whatever it is. We have this resistance, and it's a strong resistance. As you can see, starting mid-December, it's stopping Bitcoin from really taking off. And now that we came to this point right here, we've seen huge resistance, and Bitcoin came down now. So, and I use this information right here to say that maybe this is the real channel right here, because it's still in play with the four-wave theory. Because as you can see, we have one test, we have two tests, we have the third test, and then we start really pumping. And so this somehow makes sense to me. And then if I copy paste this line right here up to this point, as you can see, it is where we found resistance. We could make it above, and now we're fighting this one right here. So very similar to 2015, and now we're coming back down now. So the question is, where is the point where Bitcoin will turn around and really start this parabolic movement? So is this the bottom, or is it down at these levels? All right, and this line right here, guys, this is not for sure. So maybe you could also do it something like this. All right, it would still make sense. I'm going from the highest point up there, but you could also do it something like this. So this is the difficult part. Because I mean, after all of this happened, it's very easy to draw these lines. But now that we're trying to predict the future, it's difficult. So like I said, it could be something like this. If it's that, still this action here makes sense. We found resistance, we made it above, and now we're coming back down. So the big question, where will this drop stop? And I think the first point will be this green support right here. I think when we come down to this one, so this would be at $9,600 approximately. I could imagine a bounce at that point. Also, as you can see, this blue shining line is there, which also will act as support. So $9,600, in my opinion, is a first possible stop for this drop. But then I think it's more likely to come down to this one right here, although I know I draw it right now. So maybe you say, okay, so we don't have enough points of contact here. We only have this one right here and this one right here, so maybe it's not enough. So you might be asking yourself, all right, is this really true? Maybe it's more down here at these levels. So this would be at $8,800, which actually makes sense, because bringing out the simple moving averages, what we can see is that the 200 daily moving average is at $8,800 $75. So somehow this point makes sense. All right, somehow it makes sense. So important is right now for us, if Bitcoin falls below the 20 moving average, which is currently at $9,700, if it falls below that point and also below this green support right here at $9,600, then I think we're coming down to this zone, and this will be between $9,130 and $8,800. All right, so we will see where it will stop, but I think that this orange line is also important, right? So as you can see, Bitcoin really respected it on the way up and on the way down. So I could imagine Bitcoin to come down here, having a wick, and then coming back up to these levels. All right, something like that I could imagine. Now, if we take a look at this red candle, I mean, this is the biggest red candle for a long time, right? For a very, very long time. So maybe this one is close to it, or this one. So it's a big red candle on a daily chart, and usually when you have something like this, you have one or two more red candles. So it will be very interesting to see if Bitcoin is able to find support on the 20 moving average. I wouldn't be surprised, because this is still very strong. And so we will see if this one can hold. If it can't hold, then I gave you the levels to watch. And yeah, so that's the point. And so if what we're seeing right now is true, and we have this situation that I've been talking about when I showed you the RSI, and I said, guys, you know what? I don't really like what I'm seeing. All right, it's fighting too much with this zone right here. Yes, we had this little moment where we came above it, but as you can see, now we're coming down. And I said, so usually when you see something like this, it's more likely to come down than to just continue and move upwards. All right, this is for me not something like a trying to get above a point, so you build a nice zone of resistance and at some point you just break through it. Now this is a little bit different to me. Usually when I see something like this, it's more likely that you come down, so I'm more careful with my trade. So I left the position at, I think, 10,450. Then we had this drop right here down, and I said, hey guys, the lower time frames still look bullish. I went in again, then had this nice pump right here, and then again I left this trade. So for me it worked really good. So yeah, so, and by the way, so if you're not in our Discord channel, guys, join the Discord. It's easier for me to keep you updated there than to always make a new video. All right, so yeah, so what can we expect? So if this is true what we're seeing, then Bitcoin will bounce between these levels. And it will bounce, yeah, it will bounce between these levels. People will be scared. So what's going on? Is Bitcoin about to crash? So we will be shaking off the weekend. Something like this always happens before the real breakout. So yeah, currently I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. But very, very important, guys, are these key levels that I've been giving you. I think this one right here, this green resistance, this is, yeah, something that a lot of YouTubers are talking about, and you all, I think, have seen it, and you know about this one right here. But the bigger picture and the similarities to 2015, in my opinion, are there. This looks very similar to me. This orange line is really similar to 2015, and I think it really makes sense what we're seeing right now. All right, I think it really makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if we come down to these levels. And you really, really need to watch these levels to understand what will happen. When Bitcoin finds support on some of these levels, you know this is the point for a turnaround. And the first point is, in my opinion, the 20 moving average. If this one can't hold, and this green support as well, then we're coming down to these levels. So this is for sure for me. All right, so we're testing 9K again, and the 200 moving average to see if it is really support. Because guys, you have to understand, I mean, we've been below the 200 for some time. It has been huge resistance for us. As you can see, it has been really huge resistance. Now we're above it, and we can't just go away without testing it one more time. So this would be really unlikely. Of course, it's possible, but it's unlikely. And as you can see, I mean, the signs are there for me that we will come down to the 200 or close to it. So I want to be clear on that. I'm not saying that we will come down, touch it, and then move away. All right. Somewhere at these zones, we will find support. All right. Somewhere at these zones, we will find support. We have to wait and see where it will be, but then we will go and really move higher. So this is what I expect right now when I see that. Now the first bullish step would be moving above 10K again. Okay, I think this is clear for everyone. Moving above 10K again, finding support on a 20 moving average. And also what I want to show you to make it a little bit easier for you guys is the exponential ribbon. All right, this is the daily one. As you can see, we found support on it on our way up. When we're below it, we find resistance. All right, and currently we're still above it, so this still looks good. What doesn't look good is the 4 hourly. All right, this doesn't look good, guys. All right, we're below it, and we're clearly below it, so it's not like something like this, so only some wicks. It's more like this. We came up, we tried to get above it, we couldn't, so we're going back down. Now, important is to see if we will find support again down at these levels, like at that time, and then turn around and move above it, or we really gonna drop this time, and then at some point we come back up and get above it. All right, so watch this right now. For the short term, I think this is very, very important. If you're asking yourself, should I get in or not, we have to be above the 4 hourly exponential ribbon. We have to be above it, and we have to stay above the 20 moving average on a daily. It's very, very important, in my opinion, to understand what is likely. And just at the end, one more quick look at 2015. All right, so I mean, it really looks kind of similar to me. All right, it really looks kind of similar to me. As you can see, we will be fighting in that zone, something like this. All right, something like this. We will be fighting, and then we will get above it. All right, so watch that level, guys. I think the key to the right entry point is getting above this orange line. I think this is, in my opinion, this is the key. All right, I mean, this is the orange line in 2015, but like I showed you, the one in 1920, the current orange line, this is very important. So when we can get above it, I think things will really, really start to get high, to get bullish. And I mean, of course, everything is bullish right now. So I don't expect us to go down to 6,000, whatever. I think this is over. The halving is coming. So yeah, it's very, very bullish what is going on right now. And but we still need to understand where we are. And as you can see, I mean, this is very similar to what we're seeing right now. Very, very similar move. But then at some point we come down. And yeah, so watch the levels that I've been talking about. It's very, very important. Also, this white line right here, all right? This white line also played a big role during the bear market of that time. So as you can see, when Bitcoin failed to get above the orange and came down, it tried to get above the white line right here and couldn't. So something like that could happen now. So we come down and then we start moving sideways here for let's say 2 weeks or so, and then we get above this white line, and then we get above this orange line, right? And if we go to the current wave, then as you can see, this white line right here of the box that I've been talking about so much, this white line right here, this could be where we are below right now. All right. Now, why do I say this is important? Because look, for the bear market, for our previous bear market, it was important. This was an important level. All right. And when we couldn't get above it, we really started coming down. And now we're below it. And for the current wave, it also played a very, very important role, as you can see. It really played an important role, as you can see. I mean, it's been really important. And so something that could happen is that Bitcoin starts bouncing inside of this box between, let's say, 8.8K and then 9.9K. So yeah, so this $1,000 moves up and down until it breaks above this white line again, so above 10K. I mean, 10K really makes sense, and then above this orange line. All right. So I think this is the key, guys. This is the key, and I wouldn't trade anything before we don't really understand what is going on right here, if what I'm telling you is true. So if you're holding Bitcoin right now, I'm not telling you sell. No. I'm just showing you my opinions. Last time I told you, when we get above 10K, I will buy in. I will have my stop loss below 10K. And for me, it played perfectly. This was perfect. Although I have a lot of trouble right now, but this was very simple. And I came home, I saw, all right, that's how it's looking right now. I sold or I went in again. So for me, it was good. All right, guys. So that's it. And yeah, altcoins. Yeah, this is the altcoin season. This is the season where the altcoins, while Bitcoin is moving sideways, I hope this is the point, honestly. I hope this is the point where we will start moving sideways for 2 weeks or so. The altcoins will pump like crazy. Every time Bitcoin starts to move up, they will pump like crazy. And then at some point, they will come down and Bitcoin dominance will move higher. And this at the end, everybody is asking, when will it stop? The altcoin season. When will it stop, and when will Bitcoin start to move higher? And I think the answer is pretty simple. If we bring out the Fibonacci retracement tool and go from this point, oh no, that's wrong, sorry. If we go from the top of this wave to the bottom, then what we can see is we came up perfectly to the 61 fib. All right, so a lot of people talked about that. All right, and this is something in trading that has a very, very high probability, and it happened. All right, and now for the altcoins. I mean, the mother of the altcoins, or the father, or whatever, is Ethereum. Right? And if we just do the same for Ethereum and go from the top down to the bottom right there, all right, what we can see is that the 61 fib is at $900 and Ethereum is on its way up. We all know that. It's on its way up. And so what I want to say is the day that Ethereum comes close to this zone and starts dropping, this is the point, in my opinion, when the altcoin season is very close to its end and Bitcoin will start pumping. And on this way up, Bitcoin also will move a little bit higher, then come a little bit down, but the altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. This is the altcoin season, all right? Altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And then at some point, they come down, people switch to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin starts rising. So just to give you an idea, an opinion of what might happen with the altcoins, and you can do this fib with the altcoins you like, and then find out which altcoins will bring you the most gains, all right? And then spread your investment, and then, yeah, you have maybe the one altcoin that will outperform everything. and just to see what is possible from where we are right now to the 61 Fib. So we're talking about 250% for Ethereum, and that's possible, right? That's possible for the altcoins. And yeah, you can do that with all the other altcoins. I think I don't need to show you something like that. And yeah, in Discord I gave you XRP. I said, guys, I think XRP is preparing for a nice pump. All right, you can look at Discord. When I said that Ethereum XRP was at approximately 28 cents, and when I said that the one coin, that's what I said in my previous video, the one coin that I think is preparing for a nice pump is XRP, and it went up 23%. All right, so yeah, if you jumped in, then you made nice gains. All right, guys, thank you very much for your attention. 26 minutes. I hope it was not boring. And thank you so much for joining the Discord channel. I see there are new faces. Thank you so much for coming, and for all the really, really nice comments. And yeah, means a lot to me, guys. Thank you so much. And if you like that content, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, come back, guys. Come back. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and we'll see us soon. Bye.